It has been a minute, but I am back and I wanted to share my VSG updates. I'll let you know just how much weight I have lost.
Music when you speak, you're so unique. That's what you are.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Yunique, but all my internet friends call me Unique. It's been a minute, girls. It has been a minute, but I am back and I wanted to share my VSG updates. I'll let you know just how much weight I have lost and all the lessons I've learned over this past year and 9 months on this journey. So if you're interested to find out what I've lost, I know that's why you're here. That's why you clicked on the video. Go ahead and stay to the end. And if I pass the vibe check, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Let's go. We're gonna jump right in. The first 6 months were the toughest for me mentally, physically, and emotionally, and also spiritually. I'll just throw all of it, all the illies in. It was all of that. I struggled, y'all. I really did struggle. My intentions were, when I first got the surgery, to vlog the whole process because I wanted it to be like a diary where I looked back and I was able to reflect on this journey and use it as motivation for myself to keep going. However, I did not anticipate just how hard the journey was going to be mentally and emotionally, to just retrain yourself on how you even look and think about food. So we're going to get into a couple of those points, and then in other videos I'm going to do a deeper dive into it. So hopefully if you're thinking about the journey or if you're currently going through the journey, I can inspire you and help you along the way with the lessons I've learned. 6 months were very hard. I struggled, y'all. I was down bad. I really struggled. And you might ask, like, why did you struggle? You just had this operation, this big surgery, you know, you're losing weight, everything's looking up. However, I struggled because my body went through so many rapid changes that were uncontrollable and unavoidable for me. So I did not have a lot of the issues that a lot of people complain about. However, I had different issues. And let's get up though to sum up month one. So month one, you guys, like I said, I'm going to link that video. That'll give you a glimpse of what happened in that first month. And what I'm going to do is pop up my stats on the screen, so therefore it'll be quickly, you guys can quickly see the progress and see what went on, and then I'll just talk about the changes during those months. Month one, it was hard because I was taking that month to actually recover from the surgery, and actually relearning how to eat. So recovering from, you know, just having surgery in general, relearning how to eat, reprogram your brain, you know, feeling like, hey, you know, you having your emotional feelings of like, did you do the right things, stuff like that. Then on months 1 through maybe like 2, I had extreme constipation, which was not normal for me. And one way I remedied that was I started eating prunes every day, and then making sure that my water, I was getting enough water, because that's going to be super important for you to make sure you're getting enough water and fiber. Not just the protein, you need water and you need fiber as well. So please make sure you're getting that in. Another thing that helps me is I take prebiotics and probiotics every day. So it keeps me very regular. So I still hear about people who are struggling to have bowel movements, but that is something that you should definitely not be struggling with. You should have a normal schedule. Personally, I believe you should actually be going once a day, if not more. So if not, then you might want to up your fiber and you might want to up your water intake and make sure you're drinking enough water. Month 2 through 6, it got really interesting for me. My body was on a roller coaster ride. For some reason, I started having from pre-op, I would say, through maybe month 4 or 5, maybe through month 6, I was having breakouts on my face, and I wasn't a big breakout person. So to me, I was like, okay, what's going on? What is my body doing? I was having like red spotchy spots on my face, so I ended up going to the dermatologist. They diagnosed it as being rosacea, and I'm like, I've never had that before, but okay, I'll go with it. They prescribed me medication. It did not really help, but over time my body just got back to normal. I don't know if it was me introducing more foods, I don't know if it leveled out, I don't know, but eventually it went away, and now I just have the typical hormonal breakouts, around your cycle or whatever, but nothing major. Let's see, I'm gonna keep looking down in my notes, so if you see me looking down, that's what that is. Then on top of the breakouts, I was having constant anxiety about if I was losing enough, or if I was going to gain it back. Because that's the thing, when you have these type of surgeries, it's like, yeah, you have people rooting for you, but for the most part you have people waiting for your downfall, to be honest with you, because they're like, oh, she took the easy way out, he took the easy way out, that's the easy way, they're gonna gain it back, they're not gonna learn anything. So you have all that pressure, like, you have people rooting for you, like, hey, you did what was good for you, but then you have those negative Nancy's, those naysayers that are just waiting for your downfall. So that was a lot of anxiety, because I just feel like, forget the naysayers, I didn't want to let myself down, and I wanted to stay focused on this journey for myself, because I did it honestly for myself. Like, I can care less who agreed, who didn't agree, but for me, I didn't want to let my own self down. So that was just a lot of pressure on me. So that was a lot of anxiety, just making sure that I stuck with it. I will say this, one piece of advice I would like to give is, how when you were in grade school and it was test time, and the teachers will say, keep your eyes on your own paper, no looking around, seeing what anybody else is writing or how they're answering the questions. That's my advice. Keep your eyes on your own paper. I'm going to say that again. Keep your eyes on your own paper, meaning do not worry or concern yourself with what anyone else's journey looks like. They can have the same surgery as you and go totally different. They can lose faster, they can lose slower, they can eat more, they can eat less, they can have issues drinking and keeping foods down, they can eat absolutely everything. So I want you to customize and look at your journey as your journey. Do not concern yourself with the next person, because if you do, that will make you always feel like you're doing too much or you're doing too little, or how come I'm not losing that much, or maybe this or maybe that. And that's just a lot to put on yourself. So just to alleviate that, you can listen to other people's journey stories and you can pull what you need from it, but please do not compare yourself to somebody else's journey, because your journey is specifically your journey. Now I'll get off my soapbox and go back to everything. On top of that, I had the constant anxiety, and if I was losing enough. Don't do that. Do not compare yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself. Don't do it. Don't even think about doing it. Just take my advice. Just don't do it. Looking back, I wish I wouldn't have done that, because for me, I was comparing myself. I'm a slow loser. Like, you'll find out what I just lost my milestone, but some people were hitting their milestone, the milestone that I just achieved at 1 year and 9 months, or I achieved it at 1 year and 8 months. They were achieving that in 6 months. And I'm like, whoa, what happened? But I had to remind myself, everybody's journey is different. I'm actually happy that I'm losing at the rate that I'm losing it now, looking back, because I feel like it's allowing my body to keep up with it. Now, yes, I do have loose skin. That's a given. However, I feel like it allowed my body to just not go into shock or anything, because I've heard people having to get their gallbladders removed, people losing hair, teeth, everything else. Like, I've had none of those issues. So for me, I feel like if that means me going slower, that's fine. Go through this surgery. You want to look at it as a journey. When you compare yourself, it actually ruins that journey, because you're not in the moment. So once you're going through the journey, if you're not focused on your journey, what you're going to do is not appreciate where you started and where you're at currently. And that's one thing I do regret. I regret not taking more pictures, like more progress pictures. Of course, when I went out, I took pictures, because I'm a huge picture taker. Like, everyone who knows me knows, like, get the camera out, baby. I'm in the picture. I'm trying to get in the picture. I'm trying to be seen. You hear me? But I feel like during that time I didn't take enough progress pics, because you're gonna need those, because sometimes it's gonna feel like that you're not making progress. But when you look back at those, then you'll be like, oh, I can see my body slowly changing. I can see it actually. Because it's one thing when people start noticing it, but you're normally the last person to notice your weight loss, because it's you. You look at yourself every single day. So for me, when people started commenting like, hey, you look different, I was just like, oh, do I? Because the whole time I was like, I knew I was losing because my clothes were fitting different, but I was like, I just look the same. So for me, I think I'm a slow loser. I think I was losing more inches than pounds. So for me, it was like my clothes were changing, my body composition was changing. However, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I looked completely the same to myself. And during the first 6 months, the scale kept kind of teeter-tottering a little bit, and but the inches were coming off. So I'm a slow loser. The inches coming out. So I'm gonna put up month by month on the screen right now, showing over the past months 2 through 6 what my loss was. Oh, and also one thing I will say, looking back, I wish I would have done my measurements every month as well. I did not do. I did record my weight, but I did not do my measurements. So that might be a help for some people who are slow losers like myself, if you're doing measurements too, because even though the scale might not be moving as fast as you would like it to, you could see whether or not you're losing inches, and inches make a difference. It really does make a difference. Like in the grand scheme of things, when you're in the process, you don't think it makes a difference. But when you start putting on clothes that you have not been able to wear, or your clothes are starting to be like really droopy or saggy off, and you're like, oh, it's time for me to go shopping, even though the scale is not drastically moving, it's because you're losing inches. So take it as a positive. From month 6 through 1 year, I feel like I was getting the hang of things. I was liking the weight loss. I do know people complain about and struggle with hair loss and other things. I will say I never had any of that. I don't know if it's because prior to the surgery, I always took vitamins, and then after the surgery. Now, I will say this, if you don't take your vitamins, you really need to start taking your vitamins. I always hear, because I'm in like Facebook groups and different forums where, there's a support group where, you share stories and, you try to help people through their journey. However, one common occurrence that I noticed with a lot of people who have issues, they don't take their vitamins. They tell you prior to even getting the surgeries that your vitamins are going to be a lifelong thing, because you're not eating enough food to get all the vitamins and nutrients that your body needs. So for the life of me, I do not understand why people refuse to take their vitamins. Some may not be the tastiest. However, I don't have a problem with them. I did the chewables because, they have the highest absorbency. So I never cared about taking the chewables. I actually like that because I want to get all the vitamins that I can absorb. Another thing is, you don't want to take all your vitamins at one time. Your body can only absorb so much. So for me, I take my multivitamin in the morning. I typically take mine on an empty stomach, and maybe like 30 minutes later I eat my breakfast, or you could take it with food if they make you nauseous. 2 hours later, that's when I take my first calcium dosage, because I do you have to take 1,500 a day. That's 500 broken up into 3 different times. So I take my first calcium supplement, because you have to give it time between taking vitamins with iron and calcium, because they will cancel out each other. So I wait 2 hours in between that, just to make sure that my body is absorbing the calcium and keeping my bones and everything, my teeth strong. After that, I go about my regular day. I eat my protein throughout the day. Then for lunch, I eat my lunch. After my lunch, I take my second 500 calcium, which is 500 milligrams. I'll take that. Calcium citrate, I'll take that. And I'll put on the screen the kind that I take. I take Bariatric Advantage. I've had no problems with it. I've taken it since I've had my surgery, and I've had no problems with it. I've taken the chewables, like I said, and now I take the 1 a day capsule. And honestly, that was by mistake, because I thought I was getting the 1-a-day chewable, and I actually did the capsule, but it's working out fine. So I don't know if I'm going to go back to the chewable, but like I said, I've never had a problem with the chewables. I will say that then after also if you want to take B12, I was taking B12 after my lunch too, to give me that extended energy. So if you're needing some energy, I take my B12 in the afternoon, and then at dinner time I take my last dosage of the 500 milligrams of calcium. So it's really not that hard to break it up and to stay on track. I'll actually, in the comment box down below, the description box, I'll put a link to the vitamin holder that I use. It helps keep you organized with your vitamins. It's discreet. You can carry it around. You can always have your vitamins for morning, afternoon, and night, and it's easy. So I'll go ahead and link that down below. Please use my affiliate link because I do get a little cash back from that when you do. But if not, that's fine too. As long as you get it and it works for you, kudos. So I've never had any issues. I know also a lot of people complain about acid reflux. I know right after my surgery, my doctor prescribed medicine for acid reflux, and he had me take it for like maybe the first month, maybe the first 2 months after that. And he was like, that's to get my body accustomed to keeping the acid reflux. So I've never had any issues with acid reflux either with my surgery. Knock on wood that I don't, but I know a lot of people have to go get it revised, the bypass, because they have extreme acid reflux, but I haven't had any of that. So either my surgeon was just he is amazing, though. I researched tons before I selected him. I researched very much who I selected, because it was important to me not to have any complications. And as of right now, I have been so lucky and blessed not to have any complications. So please do your research. Do not just jump on the table for anybody. You need to look at reviews for them. You need to see if they're double board certified, you know, how many surgeries they've completed. You need to ask those questions. You need to get in there with them. You need to make sure that you got a rapport with them, because I did meet another surgeon and I decided not to go with him because I felt like I was just another dollar sign to him. And I was like, no. I need to be able to know that, yeah, you're going to get paid for doing this surgery, but I need to know when you go in that operating room and I'm not awake to be an advocate for myself, that you're being an advocate for me and making sure that you're doing my surgery to the best of your abilities to make sure that I don't have any complications. So that was extremely important to me. If you're in the Missouri region, I will link my doctor's information in the description box below. Shout out to him because he's amazing. I will definitely link that information, and you can do your own research to see if he's going to be right for you if you're in this area. Going back, I will also say that I did not do the gym like I should have. I know. I was more focused on making sure I had the food situation down packed, because they always say like 90% of your weight loss, 80 to 90%, is in the kitchen. That is extremely true to me. I wanted to make sure I can work out all day long, and if I'm coming home and eating horribly or not eating enough, I'm gonna be at a stall. I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna get the results. So for me, it was more, let me focus on reprogramming myself with food. Now, that doesn't mean I wasn't doing any exercise, because yes, I do have a gym membership. I was going to the gym. I was walking. I was doing things like that. However, I wasn't hitting the weights all super hard and being in there every single day like some people are. Now, I will say, now that I've gotten to the milestone that I've reached, which I will go over very shortly, so please stay tuned. I am going to be hitting the gym a lot more, and this is because I'm trying to tone up. And I know even with toning up, I'm still going to have loose skin that I'm going to get taken care of later on down this journey. However, I want to be able to tone up as much as I can, and see, that's the next phase of it. Basically, I broke my surgery journey out in phases. Phase 1 was basically, well, the pre-phase was actually getting the surgery. Phase 1 was me actually learning how to re-eat and losing a certain amount of weight. Phase 2, trying to get heavy in the gym with the weights and tone up as much as possible. Phase 3 will be reconstructive surgeries and, you know, all of that surgeries, plastic surgery stuff to get me right and tight. So that's coming too. So stay tuned for that journey too, because hopefully I will be able to stay on track and actually vlog it in the moment and not looking back. So here's the moment that you all have been waiting for and clicked on this video for. So drum roll please. I lost a total of, I am down a total of 110 pounds now. That is huge for me. It took me a year and 8 months to get there, but I am happy with that. I am very blessed to have gotten there. At times it felt like it was never gonna happen. I had it on my vision board, and I don't know if people believe in, but I'm a big believer in visualization and, you know, looking at your goals constantly so to keep you motivated. So I was so happy when I was able to take that off my vision board, and I have been able to take off so many things off my vision board, but it was so important for me to finally be able to get that. But I didn't just take it off, I replaced it with another goal. So my next goal is going to be able to lose 50 more pounds. I think once I lose 50 more, I will be okay, but I will try to gauge it once I hit the 50 more pounds to see if I would like to lose more. Because ultimately, I want to get to the best version of myself, the healthiest version of myself. And that might be really small, or it might be just smaller than I am now. So I don't know. Once I lose it, then I'll try to gauge like, hey, am I fine with this weight, or do I want to go smaller, or what's it going to be? So stay tuned. And I have something important that I'm working on that is going to help me get to those 50 pounds that I hope you are going to be interested. So much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening to my update. Gain something from this. If you are on that journey, please just remember to believe in yourself and to always focus on your own journey. Do not worry yourself about anyone's journey. Just stay focused on your why, your reason why you even went through this journey, and you'll be okay and you'll get through it. And just take it one day at a time and have fun with it. Take pictures, have fun with it, and enjoy it. So until next time, I will see you guys later. Stay uniquely yourself, stay beautiful, stay uplifted, and stay striving to become the best version of yourself. Oh, and if you enjoyed this video, please, please, please give me a subscribe, or just at least give me a thumbs up.
Baby, you are I'm stingy with my love. Oh, baby, you're stingy with my love. Yunique, I'm one of one. I'm number one. I'm the only one.